Hello, welcome to Pike Creek Farm. My name is Renee, and if this is your first time here, thank you so much for joining me. I'm in the thumb of Michigan, and I like to do videos on canning and vintage recipes and baking and cooking and being thrifty while still thriving. And that's what I'm here today for, a thrifty and thriving conversation. There's been something that's been on my mind. With everyone, I'm sure, when there's changes in the economy, it puts a little bit of anxiety or makes us concerned or think about things for the future. And I have been doing that lately with all the stuff about tariffs and how is that going to impact us. And, I live in Michigan. I have 3 Canadian grandparents, so it's always been a big connection with Canada. And so these possible tariffs and everything. And I'm not saying whether I'm for or against them. I'm just wondering how they're going to impact me in my house and in my life. And I wonder if it will impact and feel it might impact food is one of the immediate areas, and some other things might become more expensive where my budget expenses are going to expand, but my revenue isn't going to expand. So how am I going to thrive and live well? And I'm trying to plan ahead. And for me, it seems like a really smart thing to do right now. Something that I do, but I'm going to make a real conscious effort right now to amplify it, is canning. I love my home canned pantry, and it's very valuable to me, both personally and financially, and it's something that I feel we really need and we use. And I know not everyone cans, but this is just one of the things I'm going to do to be prepared for whatever might occur. I can't change what's going to happen with prices of food, but I can be proactive in being prepared for it and ahead of the game. So why start talking about canning now? If you're a canner like me, it's a great time to amplify it. If you're not a canner, this is a great time to start canning, whether it's water bath canning or pressure canning. There's things you can do for both, and pressure canning is probably the most versatile, but either would be a benefit to your pantry. So why am I going to do this? Right now, I want to stock up on things before prices rise. And I think they're going to rise. Unless there's some change, which I'd be happy about. But I think prices are going to rise, at least temporarily. So right now, while things are on sale, or if they're marked down on clearance, I'm going to buy it and can it up. This is also a great time to focus on canning and learn canning if you haven't, because it's garden planning time. It is time to plan your garden. So I'm looking at what I already have on my shelves and what I need, what gaps there are I need to fill in. Like, I have a lot of green beans still canned, so I probably don't need to grow green beans this year. But we went through all our lima beans. We went through almost all our tomatoes. There's other things that I need to can. So I'm going to focus on those items and plan my garden. It's important to can what you're actually going to eat, what you're going to use. And that's the same when you're buying things already canned in the store. Don't buy things you don't like. The third reason that I think this is a perfect time to start canning is to have your pantry prepared for emergency situations. And I don't mean some big disaster or war or anything like that. That's not what I mean. If your electricity goes out, your home canned goods are there on the shelf and you can still eat them. If you have an unexpected illness, expense, anything like that, an easy way to save money and be able to afford those things is by using your pantry and not shopping as much. My home canned pantry is security to me. Whatever's going to be thrown at me, no electricity, bad weather, unexpected expenses, my pantry is there to help me get through those rough times. And we have a pantry, you know, the idea is to have it so it will last quite a while. I don't want just a week's worth of food. I want more than that. Reason number 4 to start canning, convenience. I always call it my fast food. If you're familiar with my channel and watch, I always say this is my fast food. I can make dinner so quickly and so good by coming home and grabbing some jars downstairs. I always find it fun to see how many jars come out of the dishwasher. How many did I use this past couple of days? And it's always fun to see how many we actually cleaned out. If you live alone, you can can so that it's convenient for you too. Canning doesn't have to be just for big families. You can can in jars that are a great size for you. The next reason why I think it's important to start canning now is it reduces our dependence on going to the store. We're self-reliant, and that's really important. And also, the more times you go to the store, the more times you buy things that you really don't want or need. You want them at that moment, but then you come, sometimes, at least I do this, I come home, I'm like, why did I buy that? So that's why I think it's really important to reduce those trips to the store, to reduce a dependence on it. I don't want to live where I shop and that's all I eat for a week, because then what happens if I can't go shopping the next week or in 2 weeks? I don't want to be in that position. Next thing, and I think this is really important, is that you can control the ingredients. You can control the salt. You can control, if you don't like onions, don't add onions to it. Any seasoning, you can go for any dietary needs that someone in your family has. You can make low sugar or no sugar jams by using Pomona's pectin. And so if someone's a diabetic, they can still enjoy that. You can do a real light syrup on fruit or do your fruit in water. If you want just chicken, you can just chicken. I mean, there's just so many variables where you can personalize it for yourself. I did a video on canning American goulash, and the recipe, I didn't like the dry seasonings they used, so I added the seasonings that we like here. So I just wanted to share that I'm going to focus on being thrifty and thriving by canning and building up my pantry. And I'm going to go over with you the things that I have as for gaps and things I'm going to can, things that I have in my freezer, things that I have in my dry pantry, the things that I'm going to put into jars and on the shelf, and things I think I need to grow or get locally at farmers markets and local produce shops. So I'm going to take you along as I'm doing this, and that's going to be my focus, because before we know it, we're going to be planting that garden, and I need to know that what's going in that soil is what I need for my pantry shelves. Let me know if you are going to follow along on this, and if this interests you, and if you want to know more about canning and how to do it and why I do it. Let me know. I'd be happy to share with you. So thank you for joining me for today's Thrifty and Thriving Talk, and I appreciate each and every one of you. And if you know someone who's interested in this topic, please share this. Please like it. And I'd love to have you become a subscriber and come along with me. So thank you very much. We'll see you next time at Pike Creek Farm.